So let's talk about the Kelty Cosmic Ultra 20 degree bag and how it did at 22 degrees. Let's take it out here. First up, they do not have a big storage sack for this. They only give you a small one, which means it has to be compressed all the time. So I recommend you buy some of those laundry bags I talked about to store this if you're going to get it. So this one actually did it rather well, given the fact that it is the cheapest one in the testing, which is $225. And let's start off with that draft collar I talked so much about. I actually didn't mind this one. I wish it was a little bit thicker and a little bit wider and had the ability to cinch it down. So one thing right off the bat that I noticed after using it a little bit is when you pull these tight, like say you're inside of this and you pull the cincher, you pull them together, the hood part, the top part here, this comes down right over top of my eyeballs and just sat there for me to get a good cinch on the front part. Now granted, if you're really paying attention, you can just pull that one by itself. That's a pain in the butt when you're in a bag, so I wouldn't mind seeing like a dual adjustment, like individual adjustments to adjust just the front where the chest is separately from the hood. In this hood, there's really nothing protecting your face from this cord right here, and it just rubbed against my nose for the entire 45 minutes of the test. That being said, draft collar actually is reasonably okay. You see it's large, kind of lays on here flat, and it did a reasonable job. I wouldn't mind seeing it come out a little bit further and have maybe like some nubs on the end versus here. Cut this in a little bit, and then nubs on the end to kind of form fit to the neck. But it did a reasonably good job. So let's talk about the numbers. The numbers here are actually really good, given the fact that compared to the most expensive bag in the testing at $549, which is the Stone Glacier Chilkoot, this one held its own for the most part. I mean, it was only 1 degree off of it at the end of 45 minutes. It had the same percent of increase, you know, it was within 0.1 of the Chilkoot. And, you know, it's actually not that much heavier, 2.2 pounds compared to 2.4 pounds. So for a $324 difference, I think this one held up pretty good. Now we're going to see the big difference. Yeah, it might hold up good with temperature, but durability, features, packability, those things might play in to where you're going to spend more money for the Chilkoot or something along the lines of that. Compared to this Kelty, Kelty's probably not going to last as long because it's not made as well. It's not using the same materials, but as far as temperature goes, it did pretty good. So the temperature when doing this test was 24 degrees was what the weather app said. My actual Bluetooth thermometer outside said 19, so I split the difference and said it was 22 degrees. Started out at 38.3 degrees, and within 30 minutes it got to 76. Once it got to 30 minutes, it just kind of sat at 76 degrees. It only moved up a 0.2 here, 0.4 there, and then once it got to the end of the testing, it came out, you know, rounded up to 77 degrees, which is actually pretty admirable. I felt pretty warm all over. I didn't really feel any cold spots. The draft tube on it worked out pretty well. Didn't feel any major cold air coming in from the sides through the zipper too much. And, you know, very small increases. Finished out at 77 degrees. This one has a decent draft tube here. Goes the whole way down the zipper. The zipper really kept, you know, majority of the cold air out. Just the major complaint I would have is just this hood. Yeah, could you get by with it? Sure, you can get through, you know, make your own adjustments and stuff, but I think that's something they could definitely design a little bit better. You know, overall, I think this would be a great car camping bag. Definitely not for, you know, like long-term backpacking. You want to get a little bit of a lighter bag, in my opinion. Although you could still use this for backpacking. Obviously, you're just going to have a little more weight. But yeah, I think overall, this is a reasonably good bag if you're, you know, on a budget. So all in all, you know, given the fact that this is rated at 20 degrees, I don't see anything where it says, you know, what the transition rating is or the comfort rating. This bag felt good at 22 degrees. It's a 20 degree bag. I wouldn't take it really below that. I'd say 25 degrees is probably your limit with this one, although you could push it a little bit. It had reasonable room, not a ton of room inside, but It was comfortable. It wasn't too tight to where if I had my hands on my sides that I was squeezing the down, down on my chest or anything. Some bags I'll put my arms on the side and then that'll compress the bag on top of me, which will limit the amount of insulation that's on top. So didn't have that problem with this one. Like I said, worked out really well with the temperature testing. So now we'll move on to durability in the next video. So if you guys have any questions or anything, let me know. If you've used these Kelty Cosmic Ultra bags or even their Cosmic bags in the past, go ahead and put a comment down below and let me know what you think of them. And until next time, later.